Happy day, everybody. Happy day, happy day, happy Monday, beauties. How is everybody doing? Happy day, y'all. I'm so lit. We are here on a Monday. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are present. You feel me? Like, I'm so happy that, we all just made it through another day. I'm beyond blessed. Y'all already know how we are doing. Happy day, beauties. Now, before we get into tonight, y'all already know I want to ask you guys a question. I want to ask you guys a question. When was the last time someone asked you, how are you really doing? How are you really doing? We're going to take our time as we welcome everybody in tonight. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. We are in here. Yeah, we started on time today. I was like, look, we gonna do what we gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. Give me 1 second, y'all. Shout out to everybody that's made it into Dear Me, I Am Alive on our first day. Shout out, shout out, shout out to you guys. And if you are catching the replay, hey, how y'all doing? Yes, 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 yes. Shout out to y'all, okay? Where are you guys coming in at? Tell us, where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? Y'all already know I am watching from the big A. The big A, Atlanta, Georgia. That is where we are located currently, honey. Yes, 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 yes. Come on in, come on in. Shout out to everybody that is joining Dear Me, I Am Me workshop live. Y'all, I'm just overjoyed. I'm very, very grateful to have all of y'all in the building, okay? Like I asked you guys, when was the last time someone really asked you, how are you doing? How are you really doing? You know what I'm saying? And you actually waited for an answer. How are you really doing? Okay, not housework, not how's the family, all right? Not are you busy, not can I have something from you, but how are you really doing? How are you really doing? All right? How are you really doing? You know? And what's been on your mind lately? Okay, how many times have somebody really asked you this? You know, like I remember when like I was a pastry chef back in the day, and I used to ask my photographer at the time before I even knew she was a photographer, and before she even knew like I was a mentor and a coach and an entrepreneur. I used to always ask her, "How's your day? You know what I'm saying? How are you really doing?" And finally, one day she was like, why you keep asking me that? And I'm just like, girl, I'm just asking you how you really doing. And by the end of the day, and by the time the shift was over with, she said, you know what, Ty? She said, Tashiana, thank you so much for asking me that, because it's been a long time since somebody asked me how I am really doing, how I am really feeling. And I feel like as humans, that is really needed. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this fast-paced world. So, how are you really doing? Okay? Because tonight, that is what tonight is all about, y'all. That is what tonight is all about. Tonight, y'all already know, normally on Mondays, we have our online workshop, right? But tonight, there's no workshop. Okay, tonight is not about the workshop. Tonight is not about the reflection worksheet. Okay, tonight we just gonna have a real conversation from me to you and from you to me. All right, and we can talk to each other during the chat. Okay, that is what tonight is all about. Which we all need. I feel as though like it's really really needed. Don't judge me, y'all. I'm on 2 cups tonight. Okay, I'm on 2 cups tonight. Okay. I'll tell y'all later what's in the cups. And to be honest, I want to start. Okay. I want to start with, how are we really feeling? Okay. Because it's not fair. It's not fair for me to ask you guys first if I'm not willing to tell you guys how I'm doing. Okay. So to be honest, here is what has actually been on my mind. To be honest, you guys, let me take a deep breath because I have been waiting to just talk to you guys. I have been waiting to just like release everything of this past weekend, and I felt like the perfect way to speak to someone was through the Dear Me, I Am Me community, and that is what we have each other for, right? For honest conversations, right? So my mind has really been in a place of just living, you know, um, just living. I have been in a place of tightening. And when I say tightening, I mean tightening my awareness, narrowing in on my vision and really seeing clear. You get what I'm saying? Like really seeing clearly, And that means seeing every decision for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Even the ones that looks like an obligation, even the ones that feel like this is just what I have to do, because I learned that every decision has a cost, right? Don't let nobody tell you that it doesn't have a cost. Every decision has a cost, right? Even the necessarily ones, right? But I have been tightening my awareness of feeling like um this cost, could be my time, it can be my energy, it can be my peace, and it can be a cost of me, right? And that is exactly where my mind is. It has been really, really heavy on that, right? So now it's your turn, beauties. How have you been lately? I want to say thank you guys for joining in on Dear Me, I Am Me live tonight. We started off with how are you lately? Like I said earlier, like if you're just joining in tonight, it's not a workshop. We're not having no reflection worksheets tonight. Tonight, I just want to have a talk with you guys, a real honest conversation with you guys, and because I feel like it's needed, Um, how what was the question? Yeah. How have you been lately? How have you been lately? You don't have to have the perfect words, okay? I want to say that. Like, you don't have to have the perfect words. You can just type it if you feel as though like that's the best thing for you to do. Or you can just sit here tonight and you can just listen, that's welcome too. I think that all of us um, don't have to respond to everything when, we don't have an answer. But sometimes it's just good to have, to listen in on a good word, whether it's for you to reflect on, or maybe this was a time for you to be in this certain environment, So I'm gonna ask again, what's been on your mind lately. Like I said, what's been on my mind lately is tightening my awareness and narrowing in on my vision, really seeing clearly for what it is, you know? So I'm gonna give you guys a minute to, if you feel like you want to drop something in the chat, go ahead and drop something in the chat. I want to say thank you guys for joining Dear Me, I Am Me tonight. I am beyond blessed to have you guys for joining in. Y'all, I got this new lip gloss. It's pretty cute. I like the top. It's pretty cute. I thought it was gonna show up like a little, like pink, like a little pink reddish. I feel like there's a little tint, but my lips are like naturally like brown. So I don't have the natural tint the little pink tint. It's called Coral Rose. It's a lip serum. So so far I like the feeling of it. It's pretty, it's very light, it's not heavy, you know what I'm saying? But I want to say welcome beauties. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to thank you guys for joining in tonight. Drop in the chat and tell me where you are watching from, what you are drinking on tonight. I know those who was in here earlier was like, girl, you got 2 cups, because I'm sipping on that red cup and I got my clear cup. So one is water, and then the other one, I got me some black tea inside of this one. So yeah, I have 2 cups today. What you guys are sipping on tonight. And I want to start off with a little icebreaker, okay? A little icebreaker. What's one word that describes how you are feeling this evening? One word that describes how you are feeling this evening. I think that for me, one word that describes how I am feeling is I think today I'm gonna say eased. I'm eased. That's what I'm gonna start with tonight. It's just ease, you know. Um shout out to Miss Jasmine Dunn. Thank you for joining in. She said, I am feeling okay. I'm watching from, oh, girl, I might pronounce it wrong. Is it Dayton, Ohio? And I'm sipping on a cold sweet tea. Ooh. I'm feeling ease as well. Yes, just ease, right? So I want to say thank you for joining in. I am very grateful to have you in here tonight. Shout out to Miss Jasmine. Thank you so much. So I want to say welcome to Dear Me, I Am Me, you guys, a weekly space for women who are becoming themselves. Again, through honest conversation, guided journaling, and intentional personal growth. I am your host, Tashiana. Dear Me, I Am Me is the voice of Ray Lewis, our brand. And if this is your first time in this space, hey girl, how you are doing? We are so happy that you chose tonight to join us. Go ahead, introduce yourself in the chat so we can welcome you, girl. Yes, 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 yes. Honey, we are so happy that you are in here. If you are new, let us know and tell us what city you are joining in so we can welcome you. Don't be shy, okay? Don't be shy. All right. And if you have been here before, welcome home, beauty. Listen, welcome home. Like I always tell you guys, we really are appreciative. And I know you guys hear me say grateful, but I am beyond grateful, like when we first started this, we had one person following us, right? And now we're at 192 followers. And they just let me know that we are doing something. And, like people are actually listening in, and we could not be more grateful for that, and just to be able to just see that, I'm just like, I'm just blown away, you know. And I know we each day we are getting better and better. And the goal is to always, you know, encourage the next person to just become better, you know. Like I remember when I was a little girl, I used to always tell my mom, like, you know, like one of the things that I want to do is, you know, like I just want people to be able to smile. You know, that's what I just want to be able to bring to this world, whether it is laughter, whether it's me filling their hearts up with love, or my team filling your hearts up with love. That is just what it's about, you know. Like you never know what the next person is going through. So to be able to see that, that means that, you know, we are breaking through to the next person. And like I said before, we are just grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know how to as of yet, I don't know how to um put a heart back on y'all pages, but thank you, thank you. I'm just beyond grateful, you know. Yes, yes. We're just grateful, you know. So I want to say special shout out to the Dear Me, I Am Me community for always joining us tonight in the private chat. One day I'm gonna show you guys on our private chat on our other screen that I have in front of me. I want to say thank you so much for joining us in the private chat, and thank you for always showing up, sharing this space, and growing alongside with us because it is needed. Okay. Hold on. Oh, okay, I do have it. I do have it. Okay. Before we dive in, grab your journal. There is no worksheet tonight, no Dear Me, I Me reflection worksheet tonight, but grab your journal because we can always take great information from each other, right? So, what I may not have, you might be able to provide, right? So, grab your journal, your candle, and your favorite tea, all right? So, quick disclaimer before we go any further. Y'all already know, no matter what, we got to have the disclaimer, okay? So, the Dear Me, I Me program is designed to encourage self reflection, personal awareness, and emotional growth from guided journaling and intentional conversation. This program is intended for educational and inspirational purposes only. The information, prompts, and discussion shared within the Dear Me, I Am Me community are intended to replace is intended to hold on are not, let me correct myself, are not intended to replace professional, medical, legal, or financial advice. Participation in this program does not establish a therapeutic or a clinical relationship. While many participants find journaling and self-reflection supportive in their personal growth journey, individuals' experiences may vary. If you are currently experiencing severe emotional distress, mental health challenges, or require professional support, we encourage you to seek guidance from a licensed therapist, counselor, or qualified healthcare provider. Okay. By participating in the Dear Me, I Am Me program, you acknowledge that you are responsible for your own well being, choices, and personal development throughout the program experiences. The Dear Me and I Am Me program and its creator aim to provide a supportive and empowering environment, but results, breakthroughs, and outcome for each individual may differ. So take what resonates, leaves what don't. Remember what you are carrying, you do not have to carry it alone tonight. Okay, so most importantly, be gentle with yourself. I'm going to say this again one more time. Be gentle with yourself. You are human. You are human. Be gentle on yourself. I normally don't say this at the disclaimer, but this is needed tonight. You are all you have. You are all you have. Be There's not another person that's like you. So be gentle with yourself. Okay. So let's do this together. Take a deep breath, release. All right, 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 all right. So, as always, like I said before, we are grateful to have each and every last one of you guys in here. All right. So, how's y'all mental? How is y'all mental? on a scale of 1 to 10? How is y'all mental on a scale of 1 to 10? How is your mental on a scale of 1 to 10? Y'all thought that I was going to forget to ask that question? No, 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 no. We do this first. How is your mental on a scale of 1 to 10? Let your girl know in the chat. How is your mental on a scale of 1 to 10? It is, when I say it is needed for you to know where you are, sis, let me tell you something. I remember there was a time, if I can take it back to elementary school, right? Do y'all remember when they used to have the, when you used to get in trouble? The green, the yellow, and the red, right? And if you came home with a green, your parents know you did green, you did good. If you came home with a yellow, they knew, okay, all right, something's a little off, but you came home red, they mean you are in trouble, right? So this is almost the same thing, but in adult form. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being your lowest, 10 being your highest, 5 you are average, right? And the numbers in between, y'all can fill that in, right? So this is you coming to yourself each day, rating yourself on a scale of how you are feeling, all right? So drop your mental check in on a scale of 1 to 10, all right? This is not about your confidence, not your motivation, your mental, okay? This is not for you to judge it. Just notice where you are, okay? Just notice where you are. So I'm gonna go first with my number today. Hold on. All right, so I'm gonna go first with my number today. All right, so I am a I'm a 7 today, y'all. Oh, my number done dropped from last week. I am a 7, okay? And you know, I wanted to answer this question too because I never, when it comes to mental health, I want to ask this question too on my mental health check-in as well, because I never want to ask y'all to be honest on your number while I'm pretending I have it all together, okay? Because I don't have it all together. Okay. No one has it all together. Right. And we're not going to sit up here and fake it and act like we do when we really don't. Okay. I'm not going to get ready to sit up here and lie about my number and say I'm a 10 when I'm a 7. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not that type of thing. Like I am putting my cake down. Okay. I am putting my cake down because that's not necessary. If I sit up here and I lie to you guys, then guess what? I'm lying to myself. Right. And that is not what being a personal development mentor is about to you guys. Like that's not what I'm going to get ready and do, you know? So, I will honestly say that, over the weekend, I experienced, a lot of mixed emotions, right? Last week, I realized I received some news that two of my family members, one from each side of my parents' family, had passed away, right? And it was one of those weeks where um, life reminds will remind you um, how precious people really are, you know? And if I'm being honest, um, I was carrying more than I realized. And then and then Saturday came, and so that was on Friday. And then Saturday came, and by now, well, I guess for those that are new, you're not aware, but for those who are returning back to Dear Me, I and Me, um, y'all know that I am the older sibling out of all of my sisters, right? And most of the time, I'm the one that I feel as though that's like, checking in with everyone else, Um, and I'm usually the one that's encouraging, listening, and making sure, like everyone is okay, even though I know that we all have our own lives, right? So we don't speak to each other like every day, right? But this weekend in particularly, something different happened, y'all. Something different happened. One of my younger siblings came over to my house and poured into me, honey. Yes, she poured into me, and I didn't realize. I'm trying my best to not cry, okay? Um, and I didn't realize how much I needed that, you know? It reminded me that even the strongest friend, the older sibling, the one who usually holds it all together or has it all together, needs someone to ask her, how are you doing? Right? And that is why this conversation is like so important. And that's why I always start. Whew, give me a second, y'all. That is why I always start each workshop with a mental health check in. All right. I don't do just a mental health check in March or May, or I mean for March, April, or May. We doing this every single day. That is why I do mental health check-ins. Okay, because sometimes we move through our weeks carrying things that we haven't even acknowledged, right? Carrying things that we haven't even acknowledged, right? And when we finally stop long enough to check in with ourselves, we realize we've been carrying more than we thought, right? So tonight, whether your number is a 3 or your number is like mine, is a 7 or a 10, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here. Okay. Thank you for choosing yourself for this next hour, right? I just want to say, I appreciate you for just standing on business with yourself and just being like, you know what? This is where I am, and I am so aware of where I am today. All right. So I had to text my sister and I had to tell her, thank you so much for pouring into me, and that I appreciate you so much. Like when I say, you guys, like she went there. Listen, sometimes you are their mentor, right? But then sometimes they can be yours unexpectedly, right? So I want to say thank you guys so much, okay? So tonight is not about having all the answers, okay? Tonight is not about having all the answers, all right? It's about creating a space for honest conversation. Okay, because sometimes the question you have been carrying is the same question another woman needed that answer. Okay, so if something has been on your heart, ask it tonight. We are in here. Ask it tonight. Okay, don't be ashamed to put it in the chat. Okay, this is a judgment free space. Okay, this is a judgment free space. All right. And if you come with that negativity, just know you're gonna be blocked. Okay, because we ain't with that over here. Okay. So what's been on your mind, sis? What's been on your mind? I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and write some questions in the chat. Okay. What have been going on your mind? Is it a little bit of overthinking? Have you been up a little bit all night? You know, what is it that has been on your mind? Okay. What has been taking up space in your mind? Okay. What has been taking up space? Okay. What's one conversation that you have been putting off a little bit too long? All right. Go ahead and let your girl know. Okay. I can honestly say, what has been on my mind is just like continuing to just, like I said, continuing, like I said, to tighten up my awareness, right? And to be actionable with everything that I'm doing, right? And being more decisive with what it is that needs to be done, right? And pouring more into Ray Lewis as an pouring more into Ray Lewis, right? Pouring more into the Dear Me, I Am Me community, right? Because more voices need to be heard, right? More people that's out here need to feel loved, right? And there are so many women that's out here that has a lot of exhaustion that's going on where like y'all need a space like this, right? So I just want to just take tonight and ask you guys, what's been on your mind lately? What has been on your mind? Okay. um is it consistency? Is it discipline? Is it confidence? Is it comparison? Is it boundaries? Which is something that we spoke on like different replays that we have had over some of our last like workshops. Um, we went over the gap series, right? Which spoke about getting honest. Which we cover get honest, right? Knowing versus doing. We speak on being active, right? And also being persistent, right? So, what is something that you need to work on? I know what for me, I just had to get honest with myself. I had to get honest with myself, right? And just with just life in general, like where I am today, um, where I held myself back, um, not being shameful for any of my past, accepting myself for who I am today, right? And making sure that the choices that I make today um, help to influence the future in a great way, in a positive way. Because there's so much negativity that's going on out there, and to be honest, we don't need to be involved with creating more of that, right? So, one of the things that I definitely had to do was when it came to getting honest was building my confidence up, right? And that is something that you have to be able to have the inner ability to be able to do, especially as a personal development coach, especially as building a holistic wellness business, right? You have to have that confidence, right? Um, and to not compare yourself with someone else, right? Like I said, there's only one of each individual out here. There's no need for you to compare yourself to the next individual, right? Of course, you can take some great information from the next person, right? Because that's how we're able to listen and learn and to be able to adapt, especially in society and in this economy. However, you don't have to compare yourself to the next individual. Like I don't compare myself, I don't compare my business to anyone else. I don't compare my community to anyone else, right? Because that's not what it's for, right? And then when it comes to discipline, currently, you guys, like I had said in the last workshop, currently me, my sister, and my spouse is on this 90-day challenge, right? And when I say we be facing so many like groundbreaking discovery and emotions, but in a great way. It makes you very self aware of what needs to be tightened, right? What screws were loose, right? And that is what a great community is for. Hold on, you guys. My dog is barking. Give me 1 second. I don't know. I don't know what she's barking at, y'all. Probably the kids outside. That's probably what she's barking at and stuff, whatever. So my apologies if you guys hear her. My apologies. My apologies. But but um but what do you do when you lose motivation, right? What do you do when you lose motivation? Um, to be honest, when I feel as though, like, like I'm not myself that day, right? Like my mental health is not average. It's that 5, right? Um, I do a lot of self-care, right? I I pour into myself. When I say I go heavy and I pour into myself, I pour into myself, right? Or I may like find something that inspires me, that motivates me, even if it's me going to one of my friends is also, she's a life coach, even if it's me like going to her and um getting tips and getting advice from her. That's what helped me to gain my motivation back and what helps me to like refill my cup, because I feel like as if like as mentors need other mentors, right? Coaches need other coaches, right? So when I lose my motivation, like as I build on self-care. Like I said, I'm very heavy into self-care, whether it's a spiritual bath, drinking a tea. Um, I put the screens down, I put the phones down, and I spend a lot of my time in nature. That's something that I definitely do to refill my cup, Um, what do you do when, like you don't believe in yourself, right? These are questions that, like I said, I wanted to ask you guys tonight. What do you do when you don't believe in yourself, right? Um, you find a group like the Dear Me, I Me community to help pour into you. You need a supportive group, supportive people to help pour into you. That is why we give you guys reflection worksheets, okay? Like for instance, I believe I put our reflection worksheets away. Hold on. I have some right now. Look, you guys, this is how much research that I do just on Mondays, right? But when you don't fully like believe in yourself, you have to get with people who is able to see the light and see the love that's in you. Okay? When you don't believe in yourself, you cannot sit there with somebody else that don't believe in themselves, that's not even confident in themselves, right? Because how are they able to give you positive advice when they don't even see their worth, right? So you have to surround yourself and you have to be in a community where they believe in you and you are ready to face those honest conversations and stop living in shame. Okay? And let me tell you something. You're not behind. You're not behind. You are exactly where God or your higher power wants you to be. Wants you to be. Because what you didn't know yesterday, you know today, right? 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 What do you do when you afraid to disappoint people? I'm gonna tell y'all something. That's a part of shame. Okay? That is a part of shame. What do you do when you feel like you're disappointing people or the next person? These are questions that have to be answered. Okay? These are questions that has to be answered. Okay? Because you have to get to a point to where you are finally choosing you. Okay? You have to be the person who don't break your own promises. When you say you're going to do something, do it. Show up for yourself. It's instilled in you. Okay? And if they don't see their worth, all right, bye. Why are you still conversing with them? I'm just keeping it real. That's what I said. That is what Dear Me, I Am Me is about, right? It's about facing the truth. It's about having these honest conversations. Okay? It's about stepping on our own head. When I say stepping on our own head, it's recognizing where we are and where we need to be. Okay? You do y'all see what I'm saying, beauties? Do y'all see what I'm saying? Do y'all see what I'm saying? Like, you have to get to a point of, like I said, like always putting yourself first. Okay. Like I understand like everybody has their own responsibilities, right? And there may be other responsibilities that you feel as though like become that are before you. However, if you don't choose you, how are you able to handle the responsibilities? Make it make sense. Make it make sense for me. Make it make sense for me. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. All right. All right. So I do want to let you guys know that I did put our everyday reflection worksheet in the chat tonight. When you guys first sign up to the Dear Me, I Am Me community, we do provide you guys with a free a worksheet that you are able to utilize each and every day. All right. And it always starts with your mental health, right? Then after you do that, every time we are live every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Who is Tashiana and soon to be Dear Me channel. Um, you guys get a reflection worksheet right before the live even start. As a matter of fact, you guys get that days before it start. That way you're able to answer questions. And then when the live happens, you're able to follow along with the chat. You get what I'm saying? That way, you could be involved, because everybody wants to feel seen, right? But most importantly, our aim is for you to have honest conversations with yourselves, right? So, beauties, before we wrap up tonight, I just want to leave you with this little reminder. Okay, I want to leave you with this little reminder. All right, so a few weeks ago, we shared something that we are incredibly excited about. All right, our very first Dear Me, I and Me in person workshop is happening on Saturday, January 30th. Okay, if you have been following these Mondays, if you have been following our Monday's conversation, journaling with us, or telling us, you know, I'm sorry, you guys, I just got an itch. Or telling yourself, I want to feel more intentional this year. Because let me tell you guys, we are in August. August, September, October, November, December, January. We got 6 months to finish out this year, and we're going to keep on going January 30th, right? So if you've been telling yourself you want to be intentional this year, I want to encourage you to join us in person. Okay, to join us in person. All right, this is something that is special about, there's something special about being in a room with women, right, who are choosing to grow, who is choosing to reflect, right, and who is choosing to become the woman that they have been talking about, right? Like I said, that promise that you've been keeping to yourself, right? So if you have been thinking about becoming, if you have been thinking about becoming, this is your reminder, boo. This is your reminder. Okay. So don't wait until last minute. You guys, do not wait until last minute. Reserve your tickets while they are available. Okay. Reserve your tickets while they are available. Okay. I'm going to make sure I put this in the chat. That way you guys have the link, and I don't hear nobody saying I didn't get the link. Okay. I am going to put this in the chat right now. That way you guys can know about the give me one second, about the event. It, like I said before, it is a free event. You don't got to come out of no pocket. You don't have to pay. Parking is also free. Y'all heard that. Parking is also free. And we all love a good freebie, right? So parking is also available. Tickets are free. All you gotta do is show up, boo. All right. We will have a time, y'all. We will have a time to journal, connect, reflect, and to continue our conversations we have been having in here each and every Monday. Okay, so if you need the details, you will find the registration link in the description, in the chat, right? It's also in the description on our page, all right, about our event. All right, it's inside the Dear Me, I Me community. They were the first to know when we're going to be having this event, and it's also on raylewis.com. Okay, so I want to say before we leave, write this in your journal. Before we leave, write this in your journal. Okay, what have I been pushing down? What have I been pushing down, right, that keeps me quietly showing up? I'm sorry, let me go back. What have I been pushing down that keeps me quietly showing back up? All right, let's say that one more time. What have I been pushing down that keeps quietly showing back up? All right, I'm gonna say that one more time because I know it's a tongue twister. What have I been pushing down that keeps quietly showing back up? Okay, one more time. So you guys can, because I know I said it a little wrong the first time. Okay, what have I been pushing down that keeps quietly showing back up? All right, then after you write that question, all right, right. Then after you write that question, excuse me, right, what would it feel like to finally let it go? To finally let it go. So, one more time. All right. This is the last part of tonight's live. All right. Write this down. What have I been pushing down that keeps quietly showing back up? Then, write, what would it feel like to finally let it go? I think that these questions are very, very important for you guys to have. Okay. I would not give you guys questions that I did not have to face myself. Okay. That is not what mentors do. Right. So remember, small decisions create what? Big transformation. Okay, small decisions create big transformation. All right. So as we end off tonight's live, if this live tonight is what you needed, don't forget, girl, to like this video, to subscribe to the channel, to share it with somebody who you know needs this open conversation. I want to say, thank you guys for joining Dear Me, I Am Me Live on Mondays. Like I said, at 7 p.m. If you are catching the replay Eastern Standard Time, don't forget to join the Dear Me, I Am Me community and register for their free in-person workshop. Y'all gonna meet so many like-minded women who you're able to, like be honest with and reflect with. And you never know, you might build an incredible bond with. So I want to say thank you guys for joining Dear Me, I Am Me Live tonight. Come back next Monday. And beauties, thank you for trusting me with your hearts tonight. Okay. Because I know tonight wasn't a workshop, it was just us having an honest conversation with each other. Thank you for sharing your hearts tonight, okay? And I hope you leave this conversation feeling a little lighter than when you came in tonight. And you keep choosing yourself one day at a time, right? Because the life that you are building begins with the conversation you are willing to have. You are willing to have. I'm going to say this one more time. The conversation you are willing to have. All right. So I'm going to see you guys next Monday. I know I'm going to see you at that free event that you're going to sign up to tonight. And peace, love, and laughs. See y'all later.